and verify that your vote is recorded correctly.
Well, you do that also, doing your own exit polls, going and working, during the stacking of the ballots to put them in the machines and other systems, and then you get to really see what happened. I was in Travis County in the Republican primaries in 1995, and I was there downtown at the old convention center they tore down, stacking the ballots to stick them in the machines. And, I mean, it was 60% Pat Buchanan. I think Travis County was like 6-7% for Pat Buchanan when the night closed out. And I talked to everybody in there, and they're like, no, it's Pat Buchanan, hands down. Pat Buchanan, out of a whole bunch of Republicans, just dominated. And they proved in Arizona he really won in other states. So the fix is in. But then you add all these illegals to it, it only gets crazier. Good to hear from you. Oh, yeah, the Justice Department, the race baiters, huff and puff and say, Texas, why is being sued? They're racist. They want you to show one of 8 forms of ID. Basically, anything will do. You can show your welfare card. You can show your anything. Just to show I'm the person here to vote, the Democrats hand out the rolls that are online of who's dead or who hadn't voted. That's why if you haven't voted in a long time, you need to get yourself off the roll. Because people are voting in your name. It's identity theft. It's identity theft, and it's being fostered. In fact, they use online voter rolls for a lot of identity theft out there. And have you ever had your identity stolen? I've had mine just a little bit. I've had it just a little bit about 10 years ago, and it was done as a dirty trick. And let me tell you, it's not fun when creditors are calling up and you're getting bills and you're getting threatened or you try to fly and somebody's done something in your name. It's not fun. And it's happened to most Americans. It happened to my dad. He was on a no-fly list for a while because of it. Not because he was my dad. This is happening to tens of millions of people, to congressmen and women. What a fraudulent system. And their answer is biometrics. I told you that was coming. Now Obama says biometrics. Let's talk to Catherine in Alabama. Thanks for calling. You're on the air.
Hey, I read the poll about 78% race baiters. I live in Alabama, and it's a huge problem here because black and white people basically get along, but when you get to the topic of politics, it's just not something that we can talk about. It's just
it's meant to make everybody uncomfortable. All this political correctness is meant to keep the whole race deal going.
What's an articulate way to bring this up in conversation?
The articulate way to bring it up is say we shouldn't be prisoners of the past and of a past that's meant to distract us on how we're all being screwed over by the globalist. And then you need to just not care about it and not always be trying to placate and walk on eggshells around each other. Everybody just needs to start getting it out in the open and just talking about it. I mean, that's what I do. There was a quote on Fox News over the weekend about Obama being the most racist president in history. I don't know if I totally agree with that statement. He's been the biggest, it was Ben Stein that said it, he's been one of the biggest race bait pushers ever. But they always talk about the founding fathers, some of them having slaves. They were the first country ever in 1776 to almost get it in the Declaration of Independence and to almost get it years later in the Constitution to end it. But the South threatened basically to split off, and there would never have been a union. It was Europe that began to end slavery first. Slavery was going on in the caste system in India, in the caste system in Japan, in Africa. The Aztecs had a caste system of slaves. They sacrificed you, for heaven's sakes. And I'm not saying the practice of slavery was okay. It's that it was going on everywhere. It started in every culture 6,000, 7,000 years ago. We're not sure. Every culture had it. The difference is we had segregation after it, and we had populations that stayed separate. And so that's the unique American experience, and what came after it is the shame. What came after the slavery, because the slavery was going on all over the world. America and England really, and the Dutch as well, they led the world ending slavery. The British went around for hundreds of years attacking ships that had slaves and freeing them. Okay, I mean, let's just be clear. Let's be clear about that.
Digestive health is key to wellness, and Pro-EM1 is the key to digestive health. Pro-EM1 is a daily liquid probiotic that improves food absorption and supports weight loss by removing toxins from your system. Recommended by doctors, Pro-EM1 is 100% natural, organic, non-GMO, wheat, soy, gluten, and dairy-free. Call us today at 888-611-8025 or visit ProEM1.com to save over $25 on your order. That's 888-611-8025 or PROEM1.com.
I'm watching and waiting for the right time to take everything you own. I love a dark house.
Don't be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone is inside watching TV and makes your home unappealing to would-be thieves.
Don't these people ever leave?
Starting at $24.95, and there's free shipping. Go to faketv.com or ask for it at your local hardware store. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
This hour of GCN programming is proudly sponsored by BlockItPocket.com. Protect your privacy and data and render your phone or device completely undetectable. Go under the radar when your phone's not in use with BlockItPocket.com.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
By the way, England, going back about 200 years ago, was trying to ban slavery all over the world. But really, they took the abolitionist movement that started in England and the Netherlands and used the Christians wanting to end it as the excuse to just go rob ships and take over countries that still had slavery going, especially in the Caribbean. So I don't want to over-lionize the British. The same thing happened. Christians wanted to end slavery here in the United States, and then that wasn't really one of the big issues when the Civil War started. It was trade deals and tariffs, but then they later made that a centerpiece of it towards the end. But it was hijacked. I mean, talk about the British. They were still doing press gangs until about 200 years ago when they had so many riots across England. They would come and conk your son over the head. They like people 14 years old or so because they can mold them. And then the Navy would just kidnap your child or sometimes your husband. But they didn't call it slavery. They called it impressment. Impressment. So there's many other forms of slavery. Just like 7 million people in the prison system, 3 million in minimum or medium or maximum security, millions more in the halfway house system, biggest prison population in the world, teaching people how to be criminals, letting the violent criminals out, keeping the nonviolence in. That's modern slavery working for 25 cents an hour. But there's no movement to try to stop that and calling it what it is. And the prison industry lobbying at legislatures to have bigger and bigger sentences and more prisons to get our money. And every good old boy I've ever known goes, prisoners, hot tubs, cable TV, smoking cigarettes all day, take their air conditioning away, make it painful, and make them work. That's why you don't have a job. Can you compete against 15 to 25 cents an hour at those huge factories? They don't just make furniture and light bulbs and license plates. Disgusting. Let's go ahead and take another phone call. Raider in Oregon, you're on the air.
Hello, my radio friend. 4 years ago, you had Joe Rogan in studio talking about all of this and just about life in general. And in pops in Joey Coconut Diaz. He tore up the control room. And he said, the very things that we're talking about now today. Although he did it in a vulgar manner. It's one of the funniest shows you ever had.
Yeah, that video has millions of views online. I'm friends with Joey Diaz. We hang out whenever he's in town.
I love the guy. Yeah, he's great. He said it, and what he said was every 4 years you get the same thing from your politicians. So when I cuss, think about that. Think about what they do to you, and then think about me cussing. Thinking that's the bad thing. The distraction is somebody that tells the truth but says it in a real manner, and they use vulgarity.
Sure. That goes back to what I always talk about with Apocalypse Now. We train our pilots to drop napalm on men, women, and children, but then we court-martial them if they write the F word on the side of their airplane. I get it.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
It's a selection process, Alex. It's a selection process. So I don't know what's going to come out of this. Do the best you can to participate in it, but is it really going to be worth it? I mean, these people are all are paid off in their back pockets anyway. The whole thing is rigged.
I hear you, brother. I appreciate your call. Let's talk to Eric in Missouri. You're on the air. Welcome.
Yeah, how you doing, Alex? I just got a couple points real quick. But first, I just want to say that earlier you said that the biggest losers in your life are the people that you'll spit facts at, and then they'll just straight make up things. And I just want to say you totally hit that on the head. I got a lot of people in my life that are the same way. But
they're very sad people. They're very sad.
Right. I mean, dead on. First of all, I just want to say that I'm as poverty-struck and as real as they come. When I first got online and I seen the price of the X2 and the DNA Force, I was a little, hesitant, but I pulled the trigger on it. It has changed my life. I've been taking it for about 24 days now. I'm coming off some pharmaceutical chemicals, that the demons in white coats gave me. But totally changed my life. I have a whole new perspective on life, getting great sleep, just pounding the weight, staying in shape. I've listened to you for a long time. Really changed my life.
Did you go through a detox on the X2?
Oh, yeah. And plus, I was going through the detox anyway that I've been through, multiple times in the past with this, with these Nazi chemicals from these doctors. But it was a more upfront, like a shorter, more intense, but I could feel it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a better withdrawal overall. So,
well, I'll tell you, most people are incredibly iodine deficient, or they're not getting the right type of pure iodine. And it's just magic what it's done for myself and my family. God bless you so much, sir. And if people can't even afford that, you can get the sea salts that have something similar, though not as good, and that'll change your life. So let's just be clear. There's more alternatives than just X2 at InfoWarsLife.com. Thank you, sir.
We're on the march. The Empire's